Good morning, everyone. This is BoxingWave. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at BoxingWave10. First off, shout out to everyone that was here during the live commentary last night. I want to apologize to the people that was here from the beginning. I had to shut down. Okay, I had shut down for about 45 minutes. And, I came back right on time, right before the Devin Haney fight. So was able to do commentary. If you want to go back and, look at the commentary, there are two videos that are posted. There was one that was showing me doing, commentary, but mainly boxing talk for the preliminary fights. Okay. And then I had to shut down at some point. So I didn't cover the Frank Sanchez fight. I didn't cover the Luis Ortiz fight. I was actually trying to get back on when Luis Ortiz was starting and he knocks his opponent out in the first round. All right. Well, not really a KO, but we'll speak about that in another video. But shout out to everyone that came back. Everybody that was there in the beginning pretty much was back. I could see in the chat room that, the majority of my subscribers were back. All right. So let's talk about last night. Let's talk about the main event last night. I want to start off by saying people are allowed to be unimpressed. We're allowed to be, as boxing fans, we're critics as well. We're allowed to be unimpressed. Somebody has a bad night. Not really a bad night. Devin Haney didn't have a bad night at all. He didn't have a bad night at all. The way I scored it, I scored a shutout. I didn't give Gamboa a round. Now, there was a round or two that I thought were, okay, he did something, but I didn't give him the round just because he did something. Because every other round, he did nothing at all. All right? So, I don't think the slander is warranted. Like, there was people like, he's a bum, he sucks. No, that's you taking it too far. Devin Haney has never been a KO artist. He's not. He has some in there, but that's not him. But this is a hot division right now. One of the hottest divisions right now. Lightweight is popping right now. You got Tank Davis, even though he's at 130. You have Teofimo Lopez, who just beat Lomachenko. You have Lomachenko still there for now. Okay? You have Ryan Garcia. You have a lot of players in this division, a lot of young guys. Then you got some of the other older guys still sticking around. You got Richard Comey. You got Luke Campbell. You got Jorge Linares still sticking around. So it's a hot division. And the young is now mixing with the old. So when people say he's overrated, they're obviously comparing him to the opposition out there. And there's a lot out there. My issue with the fight and reviewing the fight, Devin boxed well. He secured the rounds. But he's fighting against a guy that was just in there to survive. Gamboa at no point of this fight was actually trying to win the fight. And that's my issue. This is why I'm unimpressed. I was unimpressed because Gamboa didn't look any better. Everybody talk about Gamboa had a wooden leg against Tank. Well, his legs look shaky in this fight too. Gamboa wasn't in there to fight. Gamboa was in there to tie up and survive all 12 rounds. And at no point did I really see Devin Haney take advantage of that. If somebody's holding you to death, what are you going to do? He really didn't know how to deal with that kind of situation. There were very few times in a fight that I seen Devin really step in close range and do some work on the inside. I didn't really see any inside work there. I think he would have been better off doing that. And I know Gamboa was tying up, but that's something that he can improve in. What about the feints? You know, there was points where he did feint here and there, and it would work. You know, Gamboa would jump to him sometimes, but he rarely did it in this fight. You know? I mean, I did like that he shot that jab to the body all night. That was very good. But there wasn't enough right hands. There weren't enough uppercuts. He would throw the lead left hook at times, but it just wasn't enough. You know? He should have attacked someone that wasn't trying to fight. And there were a couple rounds in there he did. But he could have kept it going. You know? He fought an extremely safe fight. And it just wasn't impressive. It just wasn't. I see Tank and Teofimo Lopez being a step above him right now. I do. It's not a diss. It's just, I think Teofimo Lopez is moving a little quicker. From the time I first saw him, and the time I first saw Devin, not too long ago, I thought Devin was more impressive than Teofimo Lopez. But if we're comparing Teofimo Lopez's last two fights to Devin's last two fights, Teo looked more impressive against higher quality fighters than Devin did. Devin didn't look all that impressive against Santiago. And I said, maybe it was just his opponent. Maybe his opponent was just better than advertised. You know, I never seen the guy fight before. He was undefeated. Maybe he was a really good amateur and we just didn't know. But after watching the fight last night, I'm like, okay, Gamboa was a step below Santiago at this point in his career. I'm talking about at this point. Gamboa is a name at this point. He is a shell of himself. And the rest of these guys, the people that they're fighting, are better than current Gamboa. I didn't want to see the Gary Russell Jr. fight because I didn't want to see another guy from 126 coming up to 135. I just wasn't interested. I was kind of tired of Tank doing it. So I was like, I'm not really interested in this fight, you know. But after watching the fight last night, I think Gary Russell would have did pretty well last night. I don't know if he would have beat what's his name, Haney, but I think Gary Russell would have done a lot better and possibly gave him a tough, close fight. Whatever way it went, Gary Russell would have done at least the same to Gamboa last night at 135. Gamboa looked no better in this fight than he did against Tank. In fact, he looked even more out of shape to me. Like I said earlier, his legs look bad here. But he looked fat here. He looked fat in the face. The body. He didn't have that definition in his body. Now, I'm not talking about the definition he had back in 2008, 2010. But I'm just saying, even compared to the Tank fight, he didn't look like he really prepared like that. He went in there just to grab a check. And when a guy goes in there to do that, you're supposed to dominate him. Not safely outscore him. You're supposed to beat the hell out of a fighter like that. And I know Devin is not a power puncher, but I didn't see him take too many chances. You know, against someone that wasn't there to fight. There wasn't much danger there. You know? In comparison to Teo's fight, to Tank's fight. Ryan is up next. Right now, I have Teo and Tank above Ryan and Devin Haney. But if Ryan performs and he shines against Luke Campbell, I'm going to have to put Ryan above Devin too. And as far as the slander, you know what the slander is coming from guys that overrated Devin Haney. Saying that fighters was ducking him. That's what This is why, and I've been saying this since last year, the videos they are still up. Devin Haney videos are still up. Whether or not he was, Lomachenko was ducking him, these are videos from last year. I don't like franchise, and I'm never going to defend the franchise championship, ever. You're never going to hear me defend that. All right? But at the end of the day, and I said this to you guys, Lomachenko beat Luke Campbell in order to get that belt. He won. Okay? It was vacant. Mikey Garcia went up. The title was up for grabs. Lomachenko at that time was unified, and he beat Luke in order to win that title. Okay? He went on to fight Teofimo Lopez, and Lopez beat Lomachenko. A pound for pound, the best win that we've seen in a long time. All right? The most credible win that we've seen in a while. When's the last time a top 5 pound for pound-ish fighter lost? It's been a while. Teo took on a task and won, and looked impressive doing it, in my opinion. Yet people are saying, all the way up until yesterday, that Teo ducked Devin. This is why the slander is out there. Because a guy that received his title by not beating anyone. And I know Devin was ranked high as a WBC fighter. I know he was the interim champion. Cool. But again, there was no point in boxing where Lomachenko even had the opportunity to duck Devin Haney. When he won the title, he went straight into unifying again against Teofimo Lopez. He was actually rusty. He went straight into that fight. I like Devin, but facts is facts. Can't be, oh, I'm so mad they're talking about the guy I like. We got to stop that. Get out of your feelings. Stop being so emotional. He had a rough night. Well, he had a rough night against Santiago. He didn't look all that against Gamboa. He didn't. And I think Teo and Tank looks better. Could that change? Yes. It changed already for me. Because before Teo fought Kome, before Teo fought Lomachenko, I saw Teo against Nakatani. And I said, I think Devin can beat this kid. I didn't say Devin was being ducked by him. I just said Devin can probably beat this kid. All Devin has to do is keep working. That's it. He didn't do anything wrong here. It's just that people were seeing him for the first time. I know a couple. A couple friends hit me up. You know? Friends, family. They subscribed to DAZN. They wanted to check him out. They've been seeing him all over social media. They've been seeing him with Floyd. They've been seeing his name a lot. So they wanted to check him out. They weren't impressed. They're allowed to be unimpressed. All right? I think he could have done better last night. That's all. All right? So we'll be talking more about this. You know, like I said, lightweight division is hot. Ryan Garcia is up next. Waiting to see what he can do against Luke Campbell. I personally think it's a little too soon for Ryan to take on a fight like that. But you never know. You know, I'm sure if Golden Boy is setting this fight up, I'm sure they're pretty confident. They're pretty confident that their fighter is going to win the fight. But we'll see. All right. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. I will do another separate video discussing some of the heavyweight fights we saw last night. A lot of guys, you know, I saw Zhang for the first time. It was the first time me watching him. Frank Sanchez, I was looking forward to seeing him. Shout out to everybody that was in the chat last night, slandering him with his age. You know, people were saying he was 38. Nah, I think Frank is probably in between 30 and 35, man. But we was having fun. Shout out to everyone with the jokes in the comments and stuff. You know how we do. But I'll do a separate video talking Luis Ortiz, Frank Sanchez, Zhang, Hrgovic. All right, Philip Hrgovic, who fought last night. And I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, have a good Sunday, and peace.